My girlfriend said modern men have ruined relationships, so I gave her the 1950s work husband she wanted. Day 2 of giving y'all full Reddit stories.
My girlfriend said modern men have ruined relationships, so I gave her the 1950s work husband she wanted. I had been with Sarah for 2 years when she completely lost it at my best friend's wedding. Modern men are pathetic, she announced at our table, loud enough for everyone to hear. They cry, they talk about their feelings, they expect women to coddle them. My grandfather worked 60 hours a week and never once asked my grandmother how her day was. That's a real man, strong, stoic, a provider who didn't need constant emotional validation. I set down my champagne. Sarah, I literally planned this entire weekend trip so we could attend this wedding together. Exactly my point. You're so desperate for my approval. Back in the day, men just decided things and women followed. They didn't ask permission or need participation trophies for basic tasks. They LED. I looked at her carefully. So you want a traditional 1950s husband? Her eyes lit up like I'd finally understood something obvious. Yes, a real man who acts like a man, not a therapy patient. Okay, traditional it is. She squeezed my hand. See, this is growth. The next morning, I woke up at 5 a.m., got ready for work in silence, and left without saying goodbye. When I came home at 7 p.m., Sarah was in the kitchen. How was your day? She asked. Fine. Where's dinner? She blinked. I just got home an hour ago. I was going to start cooking. In the 1950s, a wife had dinner ready when her husband walked through the door. I'll be reading the paper. I sat in the living room while she cooked, not offering to help. That weekend, her friends invited us to a lake house. Can you help me pack the car? Sarah asked. I looked up from my phone. That's women's work. I'll be in the car when you're done. Her friend Jessica overheard. Excuse me? Sarah wants a traditional relationship. Men didn't pack. Men didn't plan. Men showed up at the lake house. When Sarah tried to discuss our relationship, I cut her off. Men don't talk about feelings. That's feminine behavior. I spent the entire weekend drinking beer with the guys, not once asking Sarah how she was, what she wanted to do, or if she needed anything. When she got upset, I shrugged. My grandfather never asked my grandmother about her emotions. You said that was a real man. Her friends stared at me like I'd grown a second head. The real shift came when her mother visited for Sunday dinner. I sat at the table while Sarah and her mom cooked. Aren't you gonna help? Her mother asked. Men didn't cook in the 1950s, ma'am. I work all week. This is my rest time. After dinner, I stood up and walked to the living room. The dishes? Sarah called out. That's your domain. I provided the money for the food. You handle the cleanup. Her mother's face went crimson. Sarah, what is happening in this house? Sarah wants a traditional 1950s marriage, I explained calmly, where men work and women handle the home. I have a full-time job, Sarah protested. So did a lot of women in the 1950s. They just didn't bother their husbands about it. Her mother didn't speak to me the rest of the night. When Sarah asked me to come to her work event, I shook my head. I don't involve myself in your career. That's your hobby. I'll be watching the game. My hobby? It's my career. A man's career supports the family. A woman's career is supplementary. I don't need to celebrate supplementary. She went alone and had to explain to her boss why her boyfriend didn't show up. The breaking point came 3 weeks in. Sarah came home crying about a fight with her sister. I didn't look up from the TV. Can you please just listen to me? She sobbed. Men don't do emotional labor. You said modern men are too soft because they listen to feeling. Real men don't get involved in women's drama. I need you right now. And my grandfather needed peace and quiet after work. I'm providing financial stability. You want emotional support? Call your mother. That's what women are for. She stared at me with tears streaming down her face. That night, she finally cracked. Okay, I was wrong. Please go back to normal. I miss you talking to me. I miss you caring. I folded the newspaper carefully. A man doesn't change his mind because his woman gets emotional. That's weak. You wanted me to lead. A leader doesn't reverse course every time there are tears. This isn't what I meant. You said modern men ruined relationships by being emotional and needing validation. I'm giving you exactly what you asked for. A traditional man doesn't need his woman's permission to be himself. She had no response. I went back to reading the paper.